Welcome back to another video. It's y'all's favorite video, Monday project update videos, or a long story with Grumpy that makes everybody fall asleep for an hour. Either way, that's why I put chapters in all these videos so that y'all can skip to whatever projects y'all do or don't want to see. So I know, looking at the subscriber numbers and me talking about COMBINDER recently in Telegram and stuff, I got some new subscribers. For those who are new here, prepare yourself, but welcome. Sorry you lost your way. But one thing you'll find about this channel is I'm very real, and I tell it like it is. Some people call that grumpiness because I don't sugarcoat anything. And I'm a rare YouTuber that when I'm wrong, I can say I'm wrong, and I admit I'm wrong. Hey, this is just me looking at stuff, throwing stuff against the wall, seeing what sticks. And I tell everybody, we're in a lot of projects, a lot of, at least at one time, a lot of new projects. They're not all going to make it. We're all going to make it. I have COMBINDER right here for those who missed my video over the weekend. I know I have been kind of MIA for the last 2 weeks. For those who don't know, who don't follow the channel religiously, I had surgery 2 weeks ago. It was only supposed to be a week recovery. I still have not been back at work yet. I'm having some issues with recovery on that. That's the problem when you're fat, is that you can't keep incisions closed on your stomach because you flex, and not abs flex when you bend over to do anything. Because I'm sitting around the house looking at all the stuff I need to get done, and I'm redoing my room, and I'm redoing my YouTube studio, and I'm redoing stuff out in the garage, and my wife's screaming at me, and then next thing you know, I'm bleeding down my stomach again. So it is what it is. Also, it's Monday, South Louisiana. So what we're doing, we're eating red beans and rice because we like to carb load before hurricanes. That's right. This weekend, we possibly have a tropical system coming into Louisiana. Time to carb load. If that's the way you look, trust me, I'm not nowhere in the mood. I'm on light duty at work. I'd have so much stuff that has to get done if there's a tropical system coming here with all my RF systems and towers. They're not ready. And it's I'm literally losing sleep right now, wondering about my radios, my towers, and stuff like that. And I can't go to work to do anything. Tomorrow I go to the doctor. Hopefully I get released somewhat to be able to go back to work, light duty. It's gonna be crazy. But look, it's been a crazy week, especially the last couple of days with Bitcoin and some of our projects. So let's just dive in and get involved in some of this stuff. So one of the big news that I want to go ahead and just kick off right now first is today's Monday, July 14th. Earlier today, you had Helium Deploy released 500 more Ashlars, or Just Entropy, or I can say Just Entropy, that's the website, justentropy.lol, or Entropy, or Entropy as I call it, Entropy Ashlars. The first two batches, this is the third drop, the first two batches sold out in hours. So here's the Ashlars website, the Helium Deploy website selling the Ashlars. You still have some on sale. I'm going to tell you, these things are selling because the people who are using my codes, I can see those sales. It doesn't tell me who's selling, but they got somebody who bought 8 of them. So I kind of joked around about, I'm hoping in my Discord, y'all make sure y'all are a member of my Discord, but I joked around about, okay, who went and bought 8? And he actually PM'd me and said, look, I'm not going to tell everybody in public that I bought 8, but he has his 5 allocated for himself, and then he has 3 that he's planning on selling, or that he hooked up a friend with. So I think that's cool. But again, I know I appreciate the people who reached out to me earlier today. For some reason, my code worked for the first 5 or 10 minutes. After that, my code didn't work. I reached out to Helium Deploy. Those guys were really fast. Fixed my code issue, and my code was back up and running. So once my code got reinstated, it took about 30 minutes. The sales kept coming through. The sales are still coming through now as we speak. So this is just what was sold today using my code, kind of a little bit behind the scenes, but just to show you, so far 33 Ashlars were sold under me. Yes, this number is a little bit lower compared to what some other sales are, but again, this is the third drop. And even 2 people took the time to buy WB200 Wingbits stations. Whoever thought Wingbits and Entropy would have this kind of partnership like this synergy that people are buying both at the same time. For those people who use my code, I appreciate it. You know, people who are using my code getting 10% off. I don't make all that 10%. I get a portion of that. But either way, it's saving y'all. People who are buying, you know, Wingbits stations and stuff like that, they're getting a pretty decent discount. So people know I'm in Entropy really big. I got 6 devices right now mining. I'm waiting on 2 more Ashlars to come in. So that'll give me my 5 Ashlars. But remember, I own all the tokens that we're going to talk about today, basically almost every project. I will sell those tokens whenever I feel I'm ready. When I start seeing certain profit, DIMO went up a little bit. We're going to talk about that. I wish I would have sold, but all my stuff was stuck in staking. But that goes to show you how fast I can change my mind like that, and I wish I could have sold. And just a reminder, my code will work, as y'all can see, at Helium Deploy or highfix.com. If highfix.com has something that y'all want, my code usually works on everything on the website. Helium Deploy works a little bit different. If there's something that my code doesn't work on, you let me know, hit me up, hit me in the PM or something, and I can get that code activated for whatever project you're trying to buy. Also, don't forget, Grumpy does have his own Discord now. People wanted me to start one. Again, this is for the people who are new here, but I do have my own Discord, and there is a Combinder channel in there for those who are new here, looking here for some Combinder information. This right now is the only Discord covering Combinder. So y'all come here, come on in. One thing is, when you come into my Discord, you have to verify. You have to agree to rules, then you have to go verify. I don't let people sit unverified for more than a couple of hours, because that's when I find I start getting a lot of bots trying to scam people. But you can see right here, we can discuss Combinder, even some of the older ASICs, Silencio, Nubula, Honeygain, Wayru, ONOCOY, ERWIN, WeatherXM, Grass, ROVR, DIMO, Helium, Chirp, GEODNET, Entropy, Wingbits. And if there's something not listed, you can put it in the other listed section. And if enough people ask for it, I'll create another channel. It doesn't matter to me. There's also some other stuff that we do that ain't crypto related that's on here. If you need to sell something, crypto related, or if you're looking for a host or you want to host a device for somebody, but come on, check out. And in the description below will be a link to get into this Discord. Just make sure you verify. So here it is. Bitcoin, 120. Actually, 120. I don't even know what the high was today. $123,000. If you saw this coming, put your hand down, you lie. Here's Grumpy's line. I told y'all if this breaks hard through here, it was going to go up. It played around with this line for a while. Last week, we were around here somewhere. Where were we at last week? Last week was the 7th. So last week we were around here somewhere. So yeah, we've kind of jumped up a little bit, I would say. Now, what happens from here? Who knows? I can draw some more lines, pretend like I know what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna tell everybody, be careful. Just be careful. No, I'm not trying to make this into politics or anything like that, because no matter who you ask, somebody's going to say something negative or positive towards this president, our government. We got new crypto stuff coming out. You have legislature already, the Democrats trying to go against our president for stuff with crypto. It's disgusting, and I'm not going to get this political rant about it. Either way, right now we're doing good with Bitcoin. We still go back to the same thing. Is there alt season going to happen? I'm going to caution everybody again. Don't listen to people all over YouTube and X and these other, especially not TikTok, about this is going to trigger this alt season, whatever. How much? Raise your hand if you've heard that more than 5 times in the last 3 or 4 months. This is the trigger. This is the trigger we're waiting for the alt season. This is the trigger we're waiting for something. We've had a couple of alts go up. This is it. This is what we're waiting on. Ladies and gentlemen, this cycle is different. Ethereum goes up a couple of thousand, a couple of hundred, and people are losing their minds that this was the trigger we've been waiting on. It's not, it's only 5% higher than where it just was a month ago when alt season was supposed to start. And you can continue to go back that it's 8% higher than the last time before that they said alt season would start. And then when it had this big jump and he said that it was going to start again this time. Just be careful. I told people if you have a lot of Bitcoin, I would sit profits, because we know this kind of stuff does not hold long right now. Now, if y'all caught this video, Talk Crypto Episode 4, Part 1, talked about Bitcoin dominance and when is the alt season going to start, and you looked at what some of these past ones where they dipped at. And then you go and you look at the current one. What's going to happen here? This is just something I want to show you. I mean, you've had some dips before and it comes back up, dips before and come back up. But you're going to have a prolonged dip start. This is the weekly chart, so take a little bit to build up. So here's Solana chart. Solana, you can see where This is where it was last week. And here's my little line saying that I thought I was going to follow this. And then when it hits this line, eventually it's going to break through. It broke through, and now we're going sideways again. We'll see what happens. Of course, this kind of followed Bitcoin, but one thing I like to look out for, since our video last week, we're up about 8% on Solana since our video last week. Here's AVAX. AVAX actually has had a 16% increase since last week. Here's WIF. WIF is one of the tokens that I said, probably one of the very few meme tokens that I play with. I know a lot of people couldn't feel the way about Pepe also, but WIF's the only one that I really put as far as a straight meme. I'm not talking about a D-pin meme like Entropy, but as a straight meme, up 16%. I told you all last week, I thought 75, 80%, 80 cent was still a good price getting in. You know, at one time, this was what, up to $4, $4 or $5. So something y'all might want to look at. And here's a token that I can tell y'all that this is why do not follow me in trades. Peak. I still think at some point Peak's got to turn around. Peak is supposed to be the token, the blockchain for D-pin projects. It just seems less and less projects are using them. It's one reason why I like COMBINDER so much. Silencio is not doing this blockchain any good. Hopefully COMBINDER and some other ones can come on board and start helping it out. Peak is down 3%. Peak right now, not financial advice, this is what I'm doing, but Peak right now is the only token that's not called Bitcoin that I'm DCAing in. And I tell y'all, just because I like to share with y'all what I'm doing, but right now, I'm and look, you can call it, you know, FOMO, fear of missing out, whatever it is like that. It could be something I regret, but right now I'm DCAing into two things. Where before I was DCAing into alts, which were, you know, Solana, Atom, some ADA, VET, VTHOR, WIF, and those tokens like that. And I think it's AVAX. But now I'm just putting into some Bitcoin, and I'm getting into Peak, or putting more into Peak, strictly to get my average cost down, because at 7 cents, I don't mind throwing $20, $25 at it every 2 weeks, just to get that average cost down from when I was buying it at 40 cents. So, and that's the only reason right now that I keep buying Peak, but just so I can share that with y'all. Hopefully Peak and some of these D-pin projects can get their stuff together and boost it back up a little bit. All right, so to finally get to what y'all have come to this video for, and we're going to start going over some of our projects and start hitting on some of them. Some of them are going to be kind of brief because I'm sick of going over them. Some of them I'm even contemplating just taking out because I just don't feel positive about them. But I know y'all going to ask for updates since some of y'all are in it. So let's go ahead and get started. We have a new project that's number one. Let me rephrase that. It's not a new project. We have a new number one project. How about that? It seems like every couple of weeks, these two projects, 1 and 2, 2 and 1, 1 and 2, keep going back battling out. Some has to do with token price, and I'm still more impressed with number 2, and we'll get over that to that in a minute. Number 1 is a project that one aspect I'm not that happy with. So let's go ahead. Y'all know me. I'm the Grumpy Dad, and there's no project in any of this list, 1 through whatever number we up to, 17 or 18, 19, that I'm happy with. None of them I am 100% happy. That goes to show you there's no pleasing me. I tell everybody all the time, I could win the lottery and I'd still complain because I have to split half of it with Uncle Sam, and he gets half in taxes when he don't deserve none of it. So no project can please me 100%, and none in this list please me 100%. I really want to come up, because people ask me what projects do I like the best. I think one day I need to swap this up as far as like my fat gut feeling, which one am I the happiest with? But let's go ahead and get started. Let me shut up. So starting first, back in the first place is Chirp. And Chirp had a pretty decent price increase recently, value of token increase. So you can see the price of Chirp right here. It was almost at 10 cents, was actually 11 cents earlier. So it actually had a 33, probably close to 35% increase recently. Don't know what's going on with it. Haven't really seen any new news with it. Like I said, I don't really see any new news with it. So it's good for how bad the Chirp KAGE app rewards were in this last, you want to call it cycle or epoch time period, a lot of people, including myself, for how much I busted my ass scanning KAGE app, including going to New York and doing stuff like that. I was very, 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 did you hear me? Very disappointed in KAGE. I know that's not meant to get hundreds of dollars. It's supposed to be a supplement to what your Chirp Blackbird's giving you. But still, for the amount of stuff I scanned, the amount of cheating going on that they continuously, I believe, just my own 2 cents, and a lot of people believe, either covering up for or just don't want to see it. When I'm in New York and I can get about 1 million, maybe a day in New York, walking around, driving around, and you got people who are getting 3 million data tokens or data points in just a couple of hours, there's something seriously wrong with that, including that they're going over the same areas over and over. And I'm just not going to sound like a repeat record. I'm happy to see that the token price is going up, but I still say to get more Blackbirds out there, they need to get rid of the stupid NFT sales thing, because all that's doing is inviting scalpers. So people who want to legitimately get in the project have to spend an extra $300 or $400 more for Blackbirds, because you have to pay through scalpers with NFTs. Whole thing needs to be redone. But hey, they're saying that they don't want a lot of miners out there because they don't want to be the next Helium. There's a give and a take. To have enough coverage area that you want to be able to sell towards customers, you need more coverage out there. The fact that they don't seem concerned about that worries me long term with the project. But for right now, I'm still bullish on Chirp, and hopefully they keep this momentum going. Moving on, number 2, your favorite project of mine, Entropy. So Entropy, we've kind of come down in some token prices, token amounts as far as rewards. We're getting somewhere between 65 to 69,000 per day now, where at one time we were getting hundreds of thousands. Where people were worried about, hey, all my rewards are going to go down because of all these Ashlars that are being, dropped and people are getting in. Hey, we saw a reduction. I'm not going to say to a lot of y'all, it's expected, like with any other project. They haven't, like somebody said, you have Entropy Ashlars that went on sale today for Helium Deploy. The second batch hasn't even shipped out yet. For those who are interested, I spoke with Helium Deploy personally myself, and they told me that the second batch of Ashlars, you can expect those close to the same date that you were promised when you bought them, which, if I'm not mistaken, was early August, late July, early August. I can't exactly remember. But the first batch came in 2 to 3 weeks early. You're not going to see that with this one. The second and the third drop should be shipping about the same, which kind of makes sense because the first drop was 1,000 Ashlars sold out in under 5 hours, and they all shipped out within like 2 weeks. The second drop was 500 that sold out in 5 or 6 hours. This one, we're going on 7 hours now, and they have not sold out, but it's another 500. So maybe the second allocation was 1,000, and they just broke it up into 2 different sales because it was overwhelming or something. I don't know. But your rewards did drop for that Ashlars. Or should I say because of those Ashlars. But as far as your price is concerned, you're at a 0.0008. At one time, when those NFTs went for sale a couple of days ago, you saw a nice price increase. We almost ate a zero. And then, of course, you got the people who just can't belong to the project and just have to sell. During my live feed last Thursday, I do a live every Thursday, but live when I was on the feed talking about Entropy, somebody sold one of these big chunks. Still never heard who it was. It could have been somebody who was personally buying the Entropy itself, which you can do, and then you can freely sell. If you're interested in that, I tell everybody, and there's 1 or 2 people that have chimed up in my YouTube comments who got in the same trouble that I kind of did, where, when you start selling what you bought, it shouldn't hurt you, but eventually does, especially if you do like me and you get it mixed up with what you mined. So all I can tell you is if you do want to buy this because you think it's some good pricing, use a separate wallet. I created another wallet on Phantom, another wallet on Phantom that says Entropy buy sell. That's what it's called, Entropy buy sell. So I know to buy my Entropy when this sale is over of Ashlars today. Any Ashlars I sell today, that use my code, I'm taking 10% of my profits off of whatever I make on that code and buying that much Entropy and burning it. I still have to buy the $100 of Entropy from the last one. I was waiting for this one so I can make one big buy of $120, $130 worth, whatever it's going to be, whatever I'm going to make off of it, and then burn it on camera for everybody to see. But I have a separate wallet now for that, so I don't get in the bond. Listen, this project, we're not at a level yet for people to sell. Everybody's supposed to understand. And I know I'm a repeat record. I know everybody who's been in Entropy knows this, but I'm going to say it again. This is not a project that sells right now. This is Entropy A, which is basically version A of this project. They already have a version B in the works, talking to these guys. And then the versions later is when you'll be able to sell these tokens. So basically you're in this and you're going to hodl these tokens and just hold. Be a chair, as they call it. Don't be a snake and cheat your tokens. When you cheat, you get kicked out. That doesn't make any sense. You just paid all this money for NFT. You got, for Ashlar, you have NFTs going on sale. That minting has started. So if you have a Ashlar, I'm going to do a video separately on this later, but if you have an Ashlar, you have to go mint the NFT, or you have to go buy the spot for the NFT. Then when the NFTs get minted in about a week or two, you'll get those pushed to your wallet. But everybody knew this. When you bought the Ashlar, these are going to be the requirements. You had to check this off on Helium Deploy when you bought these Ashlars. So it shouldn't be really new to anybody. But this team is doing a hell of a lot of marketing. And if you're on X at all, you can see it. If you're on my Discord, you can see it. But this team is doing a hell of a lot of marketing for this, for it to be a meme or a D-pin meme token. So check it out. If you have any questions about anything with your Ashlars, check out my previous videos or contact me. All right, moving on. It's going to be GEODNET. GEODNET had their halving, and it's not the greatest, but you know, it is what it is. I'll still continue to say GEODNET is one of our most promising projects out there. We know they're doing good, but you're making about $2.21 a day right now when you were making $5 or $6 just a couple of weeks ago. So that's what happens with halving. So in the last 7 days, you're up 3%. So basically you're holding steady, which for a while back, they had some price decline. So you're kind of glad to see, you know, when you look at for the month. Now, one reason why I show everybody the alt prices coming in, like Solana had that with a 5, 6, 7% increase, and AVAX and some of these other ones had a 15% increase. You're hoping you see some of these projects that have that 10 to 15% increase also. This is another reason why I'm telling people, this is just me again, not financial advice, is when you're DCing, I'm not buying all these micro tokens this time. Yes, the chances of you making some great, wonderful profits on buying these little small cap micro tokens, I know that's what Alex Becker and them are in, but also picking the right one out of all the ones that's going to fail. That's something you got to watch out for. And I'm just sticking with what they call the boomer tokens right now, the Solanas, the AVAXs, and that's what I'm holding on to. Only real announcement that they've had is you can come down here on the announcements page, and that they have their Q2 2025 project updates and AMA recording if you want to go back and listen to that. No really big announcements about the project right now that's going on. All right, so we're moving on. Y'all tell me what y'all doing with GEODNET. I've had several people contact me who told me they were planning on getting into this project, and then when they realized the halving was occurring, paying $700 for the device, even using my code, you know, you still got to pay for shipping, taxes and stuff. $700, that's a 350 day, depending on what the price tag does, of course, price of the token. Price goes up a decent bit. That ROI really comes down fast as far as the days it takes. But right now you're looking at a 340 day ROI. Yes, it's a great project. Some people want ROI. Some people, I have people who contacted me and say their goal is as long as they ROI within a year, they're cool with it. Well, GEODNET's still for you. I'm more comfortable with GEODNET than I am some of these other projects we're going to talk about as far as longevity and future, because we know GEODNET It's very well established, has a lot of paying customers. You can see that when you look on the map and all the super hexes they get. I'm more comfortable taking a chance if I wanted to get into something. Not financial advice, but I'm more comfortable getting into a GeoDNet right now than probably several of these other projects. That's for sure. As far as mainnet paying projects, Rover's another one. It's had some decent, price. I call it, was it tachycardia? When you go to your cardiologist, at least when I go to my cardiologist, and you look at your little ribbon, and this is what it looks like. It's some funky. Somebody pointed this out on my Discord group. Again, that's why you need to be on my Discord group. We help each other out. But this is some crazy stuff right here. This is some bots going crazy. I don't know. Really no change in price at all. Up 1% in the last 7 days. Up 13% still in the month. Sieve, I think that's his name, Sieve. 39 brings up a good point. 1% of the market cap is being traded in 24 hours. There's some, I don't know if they got some bots connected to this that are constantly moving it, but it's got a little bit of movement going on. So only 2 announcements they've had is that they thrilled to welcome DPIN Link and CCK on board Rover's official community and marketing. And then they're doing this Rover network giveaway. Maybe they do that to swap out my Tarantula. My Tarantula is having issues. When I have it powered up, it has a blue light. It will not connect to my car. But again, that was also 2 weeks ago because I had my surgery almost 2 weeks ago. Thursday makes 2 weeks. I have not driven since then. Haven't been released to drive or anything like that. So all of my crypto projects right now, any of my crypto projects that require driving, none of them been driven. All my streaks, whatever streaks I had were gone. 375 AI and all these other ones gone. Silencio, we can talk about that one. I have not really left my house other than my birthday dinner over the weekend when my wife drove. I've been in my house, and be honest with you, I thought I'd go crazy. I love it. It's almost scary how much I love it. I guess maybe I was just doing too much. So the $2, I'm just kind of guessing because depending on how much you drive, that's how much you're going to make with Rover. I figured that, when I was driving back and forth to work and 1 or 2 errands in between and then going home, I made about $2. So I kind of averaged that, and that price hasn't changed of the Rover token. If the Rover token goes down, I'm going to make a little bit less. If the Rover token goes up, I would like to see a little more price action going up because other than Chirp so far, you haven't really had a good amount of price between GeoDNet and Rover. Let's keep going and see if anybody else has had some good price increasing. So project number 5 is NATIX. Oh, well, kick that one in the kneecaps. I don't know what's going on with NATIX right now. I've had several of y'all contact me, commented on my previous NATIX videos in my Discord and stuff. Yes, I am aware NATIX has not paid out rewards for June. You know how I know? Because I don't have them either. And then they tell people to create a ticket, and you can't because there's so many tickets open. Some people got rewards for their driving in June, but didn't get their referral rewards, which I'll tell you how horrible I am. I don't even know how to look up my referable rewards. I know I referred several of y'all to NATIX. Again, this is where I get people upset with me. It ain't the end of the world because the way I look at it, this was a free project. How much were you really making with this? Because I wasn't making hardly anything. You know what you do? You do what I do. You don't scan anymore. Because I guarantee you, if there's a whole bunch of us that quit scanning, they're going to figure out quick why nobody got paid for June. We are 14 days into July, and you telling me, NATIX, y'all are telling me y'all can't figure out why people ain't got paid yet? Because at first they were saying some people, very few people. Then it was some people. Then there were several people now who have not got paid. I see all kinds of people complaining about that get paid. Is there anybody who got, y'all tell me in the comments, did anybody get paid for their June rewards? Because as of right now, I mean, you can go and look at your NATIX and go look in the notifications to see if you ever got paid. So I don't know what the hell's going on with them. Some people are getting upset because they have a bunch of comments they keep making in their Discord and they're getting suspended from Discord or getting their comments deleted and they're getting all pissed off. Listen, It's their Discord. We've talked about this Discord thing with several projects. They're not going to allow you to go in there and spread FUD. If you think they're having financial issues, post evidence. Just because they can't get payments done doesn't mean they're having financial issues. Now, we all question if they had really actually had paying customers. They started this whole, what do you call it? They started something new also. You know, we don't know. We don't know what's going on with NATIX. I can tell you right now, my last things from in notification center were from when I drove in July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and that was it. So I have not gotten paid as of right now for July with NATIX. You know, what's the difference between this and some of these other projects that also use cameras? You have Soarchain now doing the camera thing. I don't know, you know. Don't know. So y'all tell me what y'all think about NATIX. Don't spread FUD. If you have evidence that they're having some kind of financial issue, go ahead and let us know. Again, just because they're deleting comments on Discord, I don't call that a red flag, because they're not going to sit there and let people just continuously bash their project. It's their Discord. I wouldn't let people come into my Discord and let them bash either. And people make up stories and make up things. Oh, they're bankrupt. Really, post me something that tells me they're out of money, and I'll share it if it can be legitimately backed up. Other than that, this could be a computer virus or something that's causing this. I mean, I don't think that's what it is. I do question. Of course, they're not just going to automatically manually pay people until they can verify. Maybe I don't know, but NATIX, get your stuff together. Moving on. All right, moving on. Earnapp. I'm still doing very well with Earnapp. I don't know where exactly it was when I did this last. I've had a couple of stations go offline just for different reasons. I find that for some reason on the ones I'm running, like alongside Wingbits and stuff on my DIY devices that are running Raspberry or Ubuntu or Debian, that those seem to hang up a little bit more. So all I do is I run an apt get update and the app get upgrade and do a reboot, and they come back online. So I don't know if it's just that they need to update or something, but they come back online. I got about, I don't know, 10, 12 stations online right now, and I'm doing pretty decent with it. Again, my plan as of right now is I do have a trip planned at the end of this month for work. Probably not gonna need no extra cheddar money for that. I go to Vegas in October for my side business, which is the business down there that if y'all need motor oil or synthetic oil or anything like that and live in the United States, cbsynthetics.com is my side business that I've been selling oil and different things like that, grease and diesel fluid and motor oil for boats and jet skis and snowmobiles and stuff like that. I've been doing that now for actually about 20 years now. 20 years. Katrina's about started that when we all needed synthetic fluid and couldn't find it, so I became a dealer. We having our training conference in Vegas, actually. Probably gonna need some spending money on that one. That might be the next time I do it. And if not, hunting season come November, I do my Missouri trip every year. And you know, I usually need some spending money for that to eat and stuff. So I'm gonna try to let it accumulate until we get up there. I find that for some reason with that, I find that with Earnapp, some days I make really good money very fast. You know, I cashed out $200. What was it, June 22nd, 23rd, 24th, somewhere around there. And I'm back up to $175 already. So that's been a month. So I think that's pretty good. But again, I have 10 stations. If you have old computers, anything running grass, if you're already running grass, you might as well run Earnapp. But what's cool about that one is you don't have to worry about prices and exchanges, anything like that. You can cash out Earnapp and go straight to PayPal, Amazon card, and they got 2 or 3 other things you can go straight to. So if you, like right now, I got $175. If I wanted to, I could cash out $175 straight to an Amazon card. and then you can just spend it. So it's technically never hitting your checking account. Or if I want to spend it, you know, you can hit it to your checking straight to a PayPal and transfer it. So very easy. So I do have a code to join Earnapp below, and if you use my code, I think it gives you a bonus and gives me a bonus. I appreciate it. Several of y'all have used it. Some of y'all have used it and haven't started mining yet, because I can see that. So you have to get the device online. But again, for those who are running a Wingbits device, I might need to mention this in the Wingbits section for people who skip over this. This is an easy project you can run alongside of it and not have to worry about it. And it doesn't mess up any other stuff. So just food for thought. Moving on to number 7, Weather XM. The stupidity in the customer service with Weather XM right now, besides myself. And if I was smart, I would just skip over this section. So for those who don't know, for about the past 2 months now, I've had an M5 weather station that cannot connect to the little M5. My weather station came in M5. It says no data. Right now, the last one, it says from Weather XM team is that, because you got to keep sending pictures. These apparently don't believe you're doing anything. I don't know if they've had too many people try to screw them over or something, but they want you to basically take a picture every time you wipe your rear end. And right now, it says, we see your station's connected to M5, but reporting invalid corrupt data. I'm going to read this again to you slowly, just so y'all can realize what I'm dealing with. We see that your station is connected to the M5, but reporting invalid corrupt data. Y'all ready for this? Could you please send us a photo of how the batteries are inserted inside the station? And try a different cable and power brick with your M5. My power brick, the M5's connected. Like, it's not like the battery's dead on it, on the M5 itself. So why am I trying to, then they want me to disassemble all the stacks of the M5, switch positions of gray and blue stack, and reassemble. Like, come on, guys. Like, do you really need a picture of how the batteries are in my station? You just said it's connected. So, like, that's horrible. I'm not going to talk more about Weather XM until my station's fixed. How about that? Y'all do your own research on it. Grass, the 8th wonder of the world. So with grass, we are currently in epoch number 9. Epoch number 9 is going to last until July 27th. As usual, there is zero news coming out the grass, people. We have been going through epochs now since October 14th. So what's that make? 9 months. With no news of when this is going to end. I know I say this every video, and I apologize, but I'm going to continue to say it. How is this project getting away with only rewarding people for 1 year? How are people staying so positive about it? But they are. People think that grass is going to change their lives. And if you read the Discord, it's craziness. And it's been like that since I've reported to y'all on grass since day 1. Grass, the only news they've had is they're pushing their grasshopper out. I really don't need one. I got grass running on a bunch of devices now, but hey, for the hell of it, why not? You know, depending on what the price is going to be, I'll probably get one just so I can show it off to y'all. I do have my third-party devices. Y'all know what they're running. That third-party company can't get grass to work on it. So I am missing out on some grass rewards. Grass doesn't have a script, which I think they're hurting themselves, but doesn't have a script for Raspberry or for client, that kind of stuff like that. I think if they did, then that would help them out. But what do I know? They do have their app now for Android phones, so you could try it on that. But there's no really announcements going on with this GRU or anything like that. Android users will receive 3x grass points reward. So I do have my one Android phone that runs off Wi-Fi. That's what I'm also running Chirp KAGE on, but I don't know if it's going to give me 3x points, because whatever Wi-Fi connects to, that's already running grass running grass, yeah, on it somewhere anyway. As far as the Discord, there's nothing going on in it. people just bringing up the same crap over and over. When we getting rewarded? I don't know. Nobody knows nothing. But again, I say it over and over with this project, is every time I try to blow it off, they surprise you. The rewards, the first epoch when it was over, were wonderful. Did very well. Made over $1,000 on it. I can tell you right now, if for some reason those rewards ain't the similar, you can have a lot of pissed off people just because of the fact that it's been over 1 year. Oh, I'm sorry, 9 months since rewards were done. We don't know when the next reward drop's going to be. And that's why I just can't understand. I can't understand what's going on with them that they have to do a reward system like once a year. Look, you want to do it every couple of months, that's fine. But I'm sure if we did every couple of months, people complain about that too. And y'all also know, in addition to Earnapp, anything that I'm running grass on, I'm also running Honeygain and pawns on. Honeygain, I also took profits on that, like $100 worth back last November. They're not even close to recovering. Pawns, I think I got $20. I have never taken rewards on pawns, yet I'm running pawns on all the devices that I'm running grass on, Honeygain on. Not all the ones with Earnapp, but my Wingbits devices that are also on the third-party company stuff, software, is running pawns. So it's running on several different things, and I'm up to like $20 in a year. So, but again, it's not hurting anything, so why not run it? So I'm running that. And remember, I have codes in my description below of all these different projects. So I have a new section called Battle for Last Place, because I just felt that some of these projects like that were up here that are trying to listen to what their people say and give us stuff, you know what I'm talking about. I just felt like I had to differentiate my next group of these are still mainnet, so I didn't want to put these on the testnet, because I'm more positive about my testnet projects coming up than I am about this next group here. But since they're mainnet, I still wanted to keep them in Battle for Last Place section. I wanted to keep them above testnet because they're still technically mainnet. So it's almost like these 5 or 6 fixed projects suck so bad and refuse to listen to people that they're just going to keep shooting each other in the foot. It's like they're all in a circle and just want to keep shooting each other in the foot and then blame it on somebody else that they're not as bad as what we want to think they are. But they are. They are. First project is Helium. Now, I can argue that Helium maybe shouldn't be here because Helium is kind of trying. They've kind of reversed themselves. But let's be honest. I don't know what's going on lately, but in the last week or so, maybe a little bit more than that, you would almost think they had a halving already, but my rewards have went to absolute crap with Helium, where I was getting like 0.1 to 0.15, maybe 0.25, maybe 0.3 a station. They're all getting like 0.0 something. My stations have crashed out. I don't know what's going on. Again, and all my stations are relatively in the same area, all in different hexes. So they're all seeing, so I have 15 stations. All 15 of these stations can all witness close to each other, except the 2 in Baton Rouge on rooftops normally do very well. Those were getting 0.3 to almost 0.4 HNT a day. They're getting 0.1 now. So something has happened with Helium. I don't know what it is. I don't see anything. If y'all know what's going on with Helium, please let me know. Another thing with Helium is that you look at the price tag of the token, and we actually saw a pretty decent increase in Helium since our last video. Our last video, Helium was actually around this $2.30 something cents. We were actually at 320. I actually posted this in my Discord yesterday so people can see it in case anybody wanted to take a little bit of profit out. But it was at like 320 yesterday. It's dropped back down to the 296 range, but we're still up 20%. So hopefully we are, we can get back on this price tag. I keep telling everybody, this goes back to all-time high of like, what was it, almost $50. I'm going to be very, very, very happy. I still own hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of HNT tokens from, a while back that I'm still holding on to. I was converting my IoT back then into HNT. for a while I was doing some of the Solana, but basically that's what I do now is I'm just moving my HNT from my devices over to my excess wallets where I keep all my Helium and just holding on to it. And hopefully we'll see Helium do something. So, all right. Next for battle for last place, Soarchain. I haven't been connected to the Soarchain because of me not being able to draw, but I can tell you this. With Soarchain, though, I've always been making better rewards staking. I have not claimed since the beginning of the month, and I actually have 928 Soar tokens plus another 128. So that's about 1,000 tokens right there that I'm just going to turn around and restake. I'm just keep the tokens suck so bad right now. There's no reason for me even to cash out. So I'm just going to keep staking those tokens over and over again until it ends up being something decent. So I just went and updated the price on Soarchain because something apparently has happened since I updated this pricing. And as y'all can see, it's not good. There's something going on with Soarchain for it to lose 10 cents in under 24 hours. So over the last day, it has lost 24%, 23% in a day, 25%. I don't know what's going on. Looking into their Discord, they have this thing about some kind of thing about an Astar and compute layer that lets you turn an everyday device into secure sandbox for autonomous agents. Astar launches a micro VM on your machine. I'm going to pass on this one. They're not putting no VMs on my machines. I can tell you that right now. And now look, I could be missing out on all kinds of money. I'm the same guy that just told y'all about Grass and Earnapp and all these Honeygains, and I've told y'all that stuff ain't running on my computer. Not on my main computer I pay my bills on, that I do a lot of my stuff on. Not on my main network at home. I have separate VMs for that. VLANs for that. I also have separate networks that I pay for through my local provider at different places, and I have my stuff on those things. I ain't running this thing. I'm not. If I was very bullish, that's something else about me. If I'm very bullish on this project, I would take the chance. But right now, I've already paid for a device on Soarchain. I don't even know if I've ROI'd on it. When you are connected to the device you bought, the OB2 port device, whatever they're calling it this week, you're not making hardly anything. Ever since they took rewards away from us for being parked, which I can understand, but rewards suck. Again, I'm making very good rewards as far as the number of their tokens that I'm making a month. I mean, I'm making a day from staking. But even the 1,000 tokens I told y'all that I made from staking over the last couple of days is still only $2, $2.80. I put Soarchain and NATIX in the same boat, and NATIX is about to get moved. And if there's no change, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna see NATIX right here, down here. Maybe I need to do a separate thing and say these are projects, feel good projects that I feel good about y'all getting involved in, and these are the projects right here that I'm like cringe. I don't know. Moving on. Silencio, God forbid. As you can see, the list gets worse. Oh, I'm done with Silencio. As of right now, I'm done with Silencio. And y'all know, and a lot of y'all might even still be surprised to hear that, because I have tried my best to hold on to the love for Silencio, and they just keep kicking me in my balls, and I've had enough. I keep saying Silencio needs to learn from DIMO that I don't care how you justify it. We are contributing to your project. Without us, your project ain't chit. CHIT. Y'all know I got to use that word every video right now since I know I can get away with it. Amazon, it is CHIT, a chit. You know what a chit is? This is like a little chit. Silencio ain't chit. no more. If we don't participate, if you want to charge us subscriptions, and don't try to justify it saying, well, then, but if you do the subscription, we don't have to show you ads. You shouldn't be showing us ads to begin with. Because I keep bringing this up right here. Y'all secured over $3 million in seed money. Where the fudge, chocolate fudge, is it at? Because this wasn't the first seed money y'all got. Y'all also advertised that y'all got builds on the 1 million y'all have already raised. So y'all have had $3.5 million. And y'all are so broke that the people trying to contribute money, y'all feel y'all have to show us goofy ads of King Henry getting stuck in his bathroom on the toilet to be able to make money, to allow us to get bonuses, even though we did bonuses. Because let's be honest, because I was kind of playing with it at first, right at the beginning month. If you don't do the bonuses, this project ain't worth it. But another thing is, this project ain't worth it unless you're also staking a god amount of tokens. I don't even want to use my average, because what my average is of getting per day, it's kind of like 50, 60 cents almost, but it's only because I automatically get 700,000 free raffle tickets because of the 1-point-something million tokens I'm staking. But people who are just getting involved in this, who, like my kids who do this when they're off at school or they're off, I got them stuck on Silencio, but they're the same way right now. They don't want to do ads no more. You let us get away with not doing ads for June to realize how good life was. I'm glad that I went through New York and I was able to hit all these venues, brand new venues. But you know, for a project that's supposed to be getting so popular, New York is the biggest city in the United States, basically. Other than maybe Los Angeles or whatever, but New York's pretty close to it. How are there so many first venues there? But not only that, but you showed me how great it was without ads. And now you're going to try to push ads on me again? I'm not watching ads. I'm not. So if I'm done with the project, I'm done with the project. I'll just sit back on my 1.4 or 1.5 million Silencio tokens. But the problem also is this month I had, if y'all saw my video, I posted a video. I'll see if I can remember to post it when I'm done. I got to take notes of that because I always say I'm going to post, and people say, hey, you said you were going to post this video and we didn't see it. So I'm going to take notes of what videos I'm supposed to be posting for y'all. But, you know, I had over 100,000 more raffle tickets this project. At the end of this month, I had over 800,000. And I got less Silencio tokens after the raffle than I did last month with 100,000 less. Somebody explain that to me. This raffle ticket thing is done. Y'all tried it. I admit I thought it was a cool thing, but this right here, what you're about to see, what differentiates me from other YouTubers. I was wrong. The raffle tickets was a cool idea until you see people bragging who had way less than me in raffle tickets get more tokens than me. That's bull stuff. Bull snot, whatever you want to call it. So I asked in my Discord today, I asked, can anyone who mines Silencio tell me how many tokens they got after the raffle ticket? And I told them to PM me, and I had several PMs. I've also had several people tell me they got banned. I had one guy who told me all he did was went from one device to the other device. And then it asks you, is this a new sensor? I've always took sensors as users. So I don't know if I'm going from this phone and now I'm gonna start using this phone, technically it's a new sensor because it's a new device. But whatever he answered, they banned him. And Silencio's got this a-hole attitude that if you're banned, you're done. Like, they're not even looking at it. I have a huge issue with that. This guy said he broke terms, but when he told me what he did, I don't see what he did wrong. But that's Silencio. Silencio's got problems. But anyway, so I had some people PM me in what they were getting in tokens for the month. And again, they also had some stake too, not as many as me. But they're averaging between 14 cents to 20 cents a day, which is some of the lowest for a project that, and you can't consider this passive income, because this is not a passive income project. When I have to sit here while I'm somewhere and I have to use this app and use my thumbs to consciously make an effort at these places, that's not passive income no more. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Active income. And for me to do that stuff, to be my nose into that when I'm supposed to be on vacation or trips or meetings or whatever I'm supposed to be doing, it's not worth 20 cents a day right now. So I don't know what Silencio is going to do. But Silencio better learn quick. You can try to push these subscriptions on people. And you know what? There's not hardly anybody complaining in the Discord. Maybe this is just me. Maybe it's me and my group of people that follow me, because we all have issues with it. Or maybe that's who's getting banned. I don't know. So Silencio is up about 19% in the last week. So that is a positive thing for them. This might be one thing that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, because depending on who you talk to, again, because I've reached out to a couple of people to see, you know, maybe I'm missing something. But to me, this is a red flag. When you start jumping, again, this Silencio is supposed to be on peak, dealing with peak, and now you're jumping, expands to base. The token's the same as in peak. Then why are you on two separate chains? Because you know what? DIMO did this stuff. DIMO went from this to Polygon to base and jumped around, and all it did was confuse and piss off people. I don't. Is it because base? I mean, peak doesn't have really a big exchange to use, and now you can use it on Aerodrome and base. You basically got the same price anyway between the base version. You know, you get people selling, buying. But again, you read the Discord, all the cheerleaders, everything's great. There's no problem. Nobody else is complaining about anything, and everything's wonderful in the Silencio world. It's just me, I guess. But I'll tell you right now, I am distinctly, unless something changes, I'm not running Silencio. Now, I say all that. When I go to Baltimore, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I know how to tell my own future. Watch this. I'm gonna read my own poems, and I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go to Baltimore when I'm sitting around with Motorola people that take me out in different places like that. I'm gonna go to some place with a brand new venue that's a first time, and I'm gonna run it. Then if I'm really bored, I'm gonna take the ad and I'm gonna put the ad down and just let the ad run. So I'm not even gonna look at it. I can tell you right now that's what's gonna happen. I'm going to look at Silencio occasionally a couple of times. If the venues that I'm going to, if they're already hitting, not first times, I'm not touching it. I'm really not. Because I am intrigued to see. I want to see, by me not running it in the month of July, I want to see how many tokens I get at the end of the month. Because basically they're all going to be from staking. All those raffle tickets will be from staking. And I want to see if I have a huge drop in rewards, because that's going to be another red flag. We'll see. I don't think they can tell them apart, but who knows? We'll see. But y'all can tell I'm not happy with Silencio right now. Another one I'm not happy with that I really don't even want to talk about is, oh no, not ERWIN. ERWIN, the recharge every 3 days is old. I'm sick of dealing with it. Luckily, you have Just Spotted, who's in my Discord, who reminds us every 3 days, hey, it's time to go charge ERWIN. Hey, it's time to go charge ERWIN. That is the only reason I can remember to charge it. I think going in there every 3 days, I know what they want. They want people to stay participating. Hey, I'll still go to the ERWIN Discord. I just don't think about going in there to charge. Because what happens is, if after 2 days or 2.5 days to a point, you go to charge, it won't let you charge. So that it wants you to go to, almost 3 days, whatever many hours that is, to go and recharge. But I'm making about 11 tokens a week, which at the price right now is about 19 cents each. So what's that, $1.40, $1.50 a week? You know, it's on an ESP32 device, but I don't know how much. Unless they got something planned that's really going to recharge this, I don't know how much longer this is going to go for either. DIMO. Now, that's what I'm just sick of just beating this dead horse. So DIMO has, over the weekend, a price explosion. They had some news that came out and price exploded. Price doubled. And not everybody, but the people with no brain cells thought DIMO's back, baby. You basically I don't know how to even describe it. Like it was me. This is the example. This is a perfect example. Maybe I need to screenshot this one thing. Screenshot. This is why I'm negative. This is why I'm grumpy. And this right here is why there's rule number 10. Grumpy's rules of crypto and life. Rule number 10. If you always think negative, you'll always prepare when things go south. Rule number 10. Y'all ever watch NCIS, which was one of my favorite shows when Gibbs was there? Gibbs had Gibbs rule number 12, Gibbs rule number 39. Here's Grumpy's rule number 10. If you always think negative, you're prepared. So let's go back. So over the weekend, DIMO does a 100x basically and goes all the way back to 8 cents, from 4 cents to 8 cents. And all these people like, see, everybody thought it was going to fail. Everybody wanted to quit and wanted to go smash their DIMOs and everything like that. Look at it now. You must feel like jackasses. Well, who looks like a jackass now? Because you know what I said? Better take some profit. But you know what? What the silver line, what the best part of that whole story is? You couldn't take profits because you're stuck in staking. So you just got teased with the super blonde, you know, if you're into that thing, supermodel blonde girl that you think's gonna be naked in your bed, but really you got a partition in the wall. You can't. That's what just happened. You got teased because you thought it was gonna be back to 8 cents, and all these people jump back. We're gonna jump back into it. I'm reading X, I'm reading Discord, and all these people like, you see the naysayers. And then what did I say? Grumpy said, "Guys, it's been 2 hours. It's been 3 hours. Give it 24 hours. Oh, there you go again. That's why you call grumpy. That's why you call grumpy. And guess what? I told people, take effing profits. Nope, I'm going to ride this out. And what you just wrote it out to, you basically have lost half of the gains already. People like, oh, I guess we don't have to hear Grumpy talk about not being in an ROI. Well, guess what? For about 2 hours, you were correct. 2, maybe 3 hours, you were correct. When it was at over 8 cents, you're right. I had ROI'd on my devices. All right. I'm not going to lie to y'all. This number right here is not correct. That was a number from last week. So even at the elevated price I'm at now, I'm still not ROI'd on 3 of my macrons. And remember, the last 2 I got for free from my buddy who didn't want to run this crap. So for the last 2 months or so, say 2-3 months, but it's been at least 2 months, I've been running 2 macrons for free. All those total going into my bank, I'm still not ROI'd on macrons. And now y'all still want to talk about charging people subscriptions? Again, I don't have to worry about subscriptions. I believe in for another 15, 16 months. And I have 0 plans of running an in-kind subscription. One thing that I do have to honestly look at is supposedly there's a way to opt in to this new bulk data sales thing. I'm not familiar with it, but supposedly there's a way now. Thrilled to welcome only as the newest insurance partner in DIMO Park and whatever. But something I might need to look into. I'm paying arm and a leg if I don't know if this is insurance salespeople or not, but insurance kills me with me having 2 teenage drivers. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But supposedly at some point there is going to be data brokers who sell your stuff. You must opt in to keep weekly rewards. I don't know if you have to, how often you have to opt in. Is this opt in somewhere that I can't find? If y'all know, please let me know. it all sounds great, man. It all sounds great. But proof's in the pudding. So clicking on the announcements page, only you earn from you connected, having your connected car data. So basically what happens is you create an insurance profile, and then you have people who compete for your business, supposedly. Once you build your only insurance profile, you unlock access to quotes from over 100 insurance companies, from State Farm, Progressive, Allstate, Liberty Mutual, Farmers, General, Nationwide. Brokers compete to give you the best rates. You decide to seize your profile. I don't see what this would hurt now, unless you're driving like Mario and Dreaded, and you don't want nobody to see what you're doing. But I guess it's a positive thing. But as far as getting back to what we're here to talk about, at 19 cents a day, that's not going to work, DIMO. But we'll see. We'll see what happens from here. Moving on to our testnet projects. Testnet. So we're going to our testnet projects. Wingbits. I don't know what to say about Wingbits right now. And I don't mean that one in a negative way, because I know some things that are being worked on behind the scenes, but I've been sworn to secrecy. One of the groups, the little testing groups that we're in with them, we know they got several other, they're not just waiting for mainnet or anything like that. They actually have several things going on behind the scenes that they're looking at, things they're trying to improve on. One thing, I didn't know if I was going to hit on this or not, but I have to, just because I've had certain people who contact me. There are projects, different projects, completely ran by different people that have the same name. Last week, you had Wingbits put out a X, and then also now on their Discord, this announcement that they've teamed up with D-Charge Network. Now, for those who have been with me from the beginning, when we dealt with the scam project D-Fly was known for not coming up with an original idea themselves, not a single one, but they wanted to capitalize. Kind of like how Fry wanted to be in like 12 different projects. D-Fly was the same thing. As soon as people quit putting money into the D-Fly ADSB section, then it came out with the satellite or something like that, where you put the little satellite thing in your backyard. And then when that one didn't get enough money coming in anymore, a month or two later, there was always something new. Eventually they had D-Charge, where these charging platforms we put on your roof, and as all these drones were flying around the city and needed to go park somewhere and charge, you would have a D-Charge station from D-Fly, and you get paid all this money. And hey, we're going to ship one to you, but we'll just start giving you out rewards now until your device came in. And people paid $3 and $4 grand for these devices, and guess what? They never came. And then they came up with another project after that when D-Charge wasn't bringing in no more money. And then they started with NFTs. And y'all know the whole D-Fly story. Ladies and gentlemen, this D-Charge is the legit D-Charge company. This is not D-Fly. Why do I bring this up? It ain't just because y'all know my blood pressure goes up with D-Flies, because I've had more than 1, 2, or 3 people who brought up the fact that, oh my God, Wingbits is merging with D-Fly. The F they are. And that's not FDR like the president. You know what they are. They're not. D-Charge is its own project that does EV charging and different things like that, who's also going into drone charging. Supposedly, in some parts of the world, maybe not the United States because we drag our feet on everything, but some parts of the world where they have drone deliveries at, the drone needs to set down in certain spots and charge. And they're setting up charging stations. Wingbits, along with GEODNET, is supposedly going together into this project for this. Of course, GEODNET, because you need centimeter accuracy of where to land. You don't want to think you're landing here and really landing in somebody's pool or on top of some kid playing in the backyard, God forbid. GEODNET is going to give them that accuracy. So this is a collaboration between D-Charge and Wingbits and GEODNET. So y'all can see that right there. You can read more about it. There's not much more that's being released about this right now, but I wanted to make sure I address that. This is not DFly. DFly is done. DFly went out and started some NFT scam, and I don't know where they're at now. They basically went out of business. Said they were going to be eaten up, but I don't know. Y'all can follow that drama somewhere else. I guarantee though, because I talked about them for longer than a minute, I guarantee somebody will call me, text me, email me, DM me on Discord or YouTube, attacking me. Why am I still making fun of DFly? Y'all lost $3,000 and $4,000 from me, and y'all still gonna defend them? Y'all deserve to lose $3,000 or $4,000. I guarantee somebody's gonna contact me. Y'all remember this Thursday for my live. Y'all remember this. Anyway, so this is decharge. So, you know, we'll see what comes up with this, what comes out of it. I will tell you this, Wingbits WB200s, if y'all saw the beginning of this video, I had people buying Ashlars today from Entropy, who, I don't know if it's the same person. I didn't get into details looking at orders, but I had 2 WB200s from Wingbits that sold alongside Ashlars today. Wingbits WB200s, to a point, the 310s are still being sold regularly. You don't see that many 310s being sold. 310s are the $1,000. Actually, they're probably more than that now. Combo devices between Wingbits and GEODNET. You don't see too many of those being sold, at least not with my code. I'm sure they're still being sold, but you know. But with my code, I'm still seeing Wingbits WB200. I'm going to say at least 1 or 2 a week. That's just using my code. I can't imagine how many are being sold out there, people who don't use my code. So it tells you it's going to be a very popular project. Not financial advice. We don't know the future, but you know, we're about about 6 weeks away from proposed mainnet, and I'm very eager to see what happens with that. So moving on, 375 AI, no news at all with them. You know, I think they're just working and they're not worried about updating. Right now, we're just running the 375 app. At least some people are. I'm not, because I haven't been going anywhere. But if you want to bypass the waiting period and get in 375 AI, you know we like these early projects. Get into it. I think it's going to be a big, if it ends up being like it is with these bigger devices that are going on billboards and stuff, I think it's going to be a very good, viable project. We'll have to see. Moving on. COMBINDER. I talked about COMBINDER a little bit at the beginning of this video. I did a full video on COMBINDER 2 days ago, but basically it's smart plugs. Very, very, very new project. Very new project. Like, you want to be in a project where it's just starting out, like some of the first people involved, this is your chance to jump on COMBINDER. What's cool about it is it doesn't cost you anything to get into it. You just have to buy the Shelly plugs, the smart Shelly plugs. The American versions are like $22 on Amazon. I just ordered my 4th or 5th one today. And when you add that Shelly miner to the Shelly app, you can then add it to your COMBINDER account, and you get paid in crypto for monitoring your electricity use. Listen, I know some of y'all are going to say the same thing that I said. Is I know this is not the first or second smart plug, but they're doing it differently. And I don't want to get into that whole, you know, rigmarole about that. When you can read, you know, go to my video or go to Passive Crypto Mining's video. He does a way better job taking his time and explaining why this is a good project at this time, where I do more of the how-to and this is how you set it up and that kind of stuff like that. So check out COMBINDER. Again, that's another one that I got an invite code underneath that helps you out and helps me out from starting out, and I appreciate it. ONOCOY, I haven't really followed. ONOCOY's got some things going on now. I haven't really followed it too much. It appears that they're doing an ONO pre-sale if you want to get into it early. Pre-sale opens up tomorrow, July 15th at 9 a.m. ends July 17th. You go to Pink Sale. In Pink Sale, and you can purchase your ONOCOY tokens. And, you know, I wish them luck. I'm in this project also. I have this paired up to one of the GEODNET devices I have, and I hope they do great. I hope they do great. I'm hoping that the token does way better than we think it's going to do, because if the pre-token, the rewards haven't been that great, at least from what it appears. But again, when it goes TGE, mainnet, who knows? You know, that price could go up, or the testnet token might change to a real token. I don't know the difference is going to be, but, you know, we'll see. So that's it. I thank everybody for joining. I thank everybody for hanging in there, watching this, watching me rant on some of my projects. And now I got to go edit this whole thing. It's 9 o'clock at night already. So even though I started earlier, it just seems like now I'm back at 9 o'clock again, trying to rush to get this out. Then I got to make a decision. Do I want to make this a Monday night video or a Tuesday early morning video? I don't know. But again, please join my Discord. Stay up to tune with, stay, you know, involved with all that. A lot of updates on all our projects in there. I appreciate it. Make sure you join my X right here and my other YouTube channels and stuff like that. Hopefully I get better and I can start uploading some posts to those also. But appreciate everybody's support. I thank y'all very much. All the people that reached out to me during my surgery recovery, again, I thank y'all very much. I know some of y'all still check on me because you still don't see me online or in the Discords and different places like that as much as I used to be. You know, hopefully tomorrow the doctor can give me a little better news and figure out what's going on with my stomach and get this solved and get all this and get moved on. So I know I gotta go shave, but I ain't gonna have to go work. So sit at home and watch Westerns all day. It's great. Thanks again. Appreciate it. See y'all next video.